Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. My name is Meg and I'm a fully qualified yoga teacher, beautician and a masseuse. And this is my yoga YouTube channel where I talk mainly about yoga, tips and tricks and things that you guys can follow along from home to strengthen your practice, but also some health and wellness tips as well. Basically everything I've been doing in my job for like about 10 years now. So if that's something you're interested in, please go and hit the subscribe button, and it means every time I bring out a yoga class or any sort of video, you guys get notified so you never miss out on what I'm bringing forward. Today I am going to be teaching you the flow that I taught throughout October. So this is a really lovely flow. We're opening up through the hips, through the back. It's one of my favourite flows I've taught. I feel like I say that every single month though, but this is such a lovely, lovely flow. You can use blocks, you can use straps if you want to, and when you're ready, we will get started. We're going to start in our down dog. To get yourself into the correct position here, we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, spreading through the fingertips. Your index or middle finger is facing forward and your knees are underneath your hips. We're going to flex the toes, keep the hands where they are, take the bum back towards the heels. We're lifting the knees and then lifting all the way up into your down dog. Spread through the hands, push the floor and the mat away from you. Your shoulders are coming up by your ears. Lifting the tailbone up high. You can take a deep bend into the knees and lift your heels if you need to. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other here. Again, just warming up through the hamstrings. Listen to your body. It's always important before you come into a flow that you're nice and warmed up, ready to flow through all of these different movements. Take a second here. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're lifting the right leg all the way up into your three-legged dog. Maybe pulse the leg at the top, working through that hamstring a little bit. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold at the top, squeeze the glute. Make sure you're squaring your hips forwards towards the mat. Let's come up onto the ball of the left foot and bend into the right knee. We're bringing the right knee in towards the chin and the chest. Rolling forward so your shoulders come over your hands, picking up right through the toe and step the foot down in between the hands. If it doesn't quite get there, we're picking the foot up from behind and stepping it up and through. Pivoting the back foot to face the long edge of your mat. We're coming all the way up into Warrior Two. Tuck that tailbone under, squeeze the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, feeling nice and strong here. Deep bend into your front knee, and you want to make sure your knee is in line with your second toe. Left hand comes onto the left leg, right arm comes up into reverse warrior. Keep that tailbone tucked under. Think about reaching over towards the left with your right hand to grab something. So you're stretching through the hand. Deep breath in. And exhale, we're going to take the forearm of the right forearm onto the right knee. Left arm comes up. Gazing up underneath the hand, keep tucking that tailbone under here. This is option number one. So maybe this feels good for you, maybe you're feeling strong, keeping your muscles working here, reaching over to the right and pushing up through the shoulder. Maybe you have enough flexibility to take that right hand down into the mat. Again, pulling back with the left shoulder, gazing up towards the ceiling, feel that stretch. Option number 3, you can create a bind. So we're taking the left hand behind, the right hand behind, interlacing the hands, and then pushing both hands towards the left leg. So I will turn around so you can see what I'm doing. So we're in our extended side angle. Option number 2. Option number 3, we're taking the hands behind, interlacing the fingers and pushing them over towards the left hand side. Pull the left arm back and behind, so you're gazing up towards the ceiling. Feel nice and strong here. Keep breathing, finding that strength, using your muscles here. Deep breath in. Exhale, wherever you are, we're going to take the left hand on the inside of the right foot and pivoting the back foot to face the short end of the mat. You want to make sure that your left hand is directly underneath your shoulder and your fingers are spread, ready to take the weight here. We're going to pick up the right foot, step it back and behind, lifting and stepping. Right arm comes back and behind into your wild thing. Breathe here, rainbow the hips up high, keeping nice and strong. We're going to go back the way we came, picking up that right foot and stepping it up to the top of the mat, coming into your lizard lunge from here. So your right foot should be next to your right hand and your hands should be underneath your shoulder. The heel of the right foot is down into the mat and then your toes are coming off the edge of the mat at a 45-degree angle. High lizard, we're lifting the back knee up, we're going to take it down. Back knee comes down, pushing through the hands, feeling nice and strong here. Keep your hips squared towards the mat, keep your right knee glued up and in towards you, don't let it fall out to the side. Feeling that stretch across the hips. We're going to take this into a half split variation. We're going to begin to walk. We'll take the hips back. So your hips are coming over the top of your knees and then picking up the right foot. You may need to walk the hands with you as you do this, or you might be able to keep the hands where they are and just rock the hips back, lift up the toes. It depends on how much flexibility you have here. The further your hands are away from you, the deeper this stretch is going to be. You want to keep a soft bend behind your right knee, so the knee is not completely locked out, there's a nice soft bend behind it. The further you walk your hands away, the deeper this stretch is going to be. You should feel this into your hamstring, your glute, maybe across the back. And as I said, you can always walk the hands in towards you if it's easier. You can take a deeper bend into the knees if you need to. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to roll back forwards into our lizard lunge. Hands are underneath the shoulders, fingers are spread, ready to take the weight into the hands. We're lifting up the back foot and we're going to step the back foot up to the top so that it's mimicking what the right foot is doing. So we're picking up and stepping up to the top. So both your heels are down into the mat, both of the toes are coming off the edge at a 45-degree angle. Deep bend into the knees, we're coming into our Malasana squat from here. So your hands can be down onto the floor or onto the mat to help support you. You can place them onto a block if you've got a block. If you're able to keep your heels down, your back is nice and straight, so your tailbone is pushed back and behind and your shoulder blades are squeezed together, and you've got good balance here, you can then take the hands in together, in at heart center. You're pushing the knees back and behind wherever you are. So if your hands are in at heart center, you can bring the elbows on the insides of the legs and push them further back. If your hands are down into the mat, you're going to have to use your muscles to push the knees back and behind you. Keep tall here. Imagine you've got a piece of string running from the base of your spine all the way up to the top of your head. Deep breath in. Exhale, let's place the hands down into the mat and push all the way up. Come up to stand. You can either walk the toes in towards each other or you can keep a wider stance here. It's up to you, it doesn't really make much difference. Your feet are hip width apart with your toes facing forward. We're working on our hip flexor strength from here. So we're going to start by shuffling the weight over to the left hand side. Use the muscles here, keep a nice strong core and maybe take the arms out to the side as you lift up the right foot. So to begin with, you might just have a flexion through the foot and it's just lifted up slightly from the mat. Maybe you can start to take the foot out in front. Maybe you're going to tap and lift. We're working on our balance from here. So this is all about what feels best for you. Maybe you can bring the leg all the way up. Wherever you are, I want to make sure you've got a good flexion in your foot. So I would rather you were down here, maybe even working on tapping the foot, but using that flexion through the foot and with your muscles in your hip flexor being engaged, rather than trying to be up here and you're wobbling all about pointing the toe. It's important to use your core muscles, find the strength, find something to gaze at, flex the foot and lift to where it feels best for you. Maybe you can bring the arms all the way up. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the foot raised. Swing it behind, but bend into your left knee. We're going to step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat, nice and slowly with as much control as possible. We're coming into our lunge from here. So your hands at either side of the left foot, feeling a stretch through the hip. Again, we're going to try and take the weight into the hands and see if you can step the left foot back to meet the right. Picking up through the hands and stepping the left foot behind into your down dog. Take a breath here before we go on to the other side. If you need to take a drink, roll the wrists out before we go on to the other side. So we're starting off into that down dog. Your feet are hip width apart, toes facing forward, lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, chest in towards the thighs, gazing at the space between your knees, and you're pushing through the arms and through the hands. We're doing the opposite leg this time, so left leg lifts into your three-legged dog. You can pulse the leg up at the top here, find that strength, and hold. Bending into the left knee, and we're bringing the knee in towards the chin and the chest, rolling forwards, picking up through the back foot and stepping the left in between the hands. If it doesn't quite get there, you're picking the foot up from behind and stepping it up to the top of your mat. Pivoting the back toes, we're coming up into your warrior two. Same thing as we did before. You want to make sure that tailbone is tucked under, squeezing through the core, squeeze the shoulder blades together, deep bend into your front knee, and your knee is in line with your second toe. Breathing here. Deep breath in. Right hand comes onto the right leg. Reverse warrior. Tuck that tailbone under. Imagine you're reaching for something towards the right hand side, so you're stretching even through the left hands. Deep breath in. Left forearm comes onto the knee. And we're bringing the right arm up. Option number one, you can stay here, push through the shoulder, keep yourself nice and tall and strong. Option number two, the hand can come down into the mat, gazing up again, pull the shoulder back. Option number three, the left hand comes underneath, right arm comes back to meet it. We're interlacing the fingers and then pushing them over towards the right leg, so the straight leg. Pull your right shoulder up and back, gaze up towards the ceiling. Right arm is coming down on the inside of the left leg, and we're pivoting the back foot to face the short edge of the mat. We're coming into that wild thing pose, so get ready to take the weight into your right hand. As we pick up the left, step it behind, pick the hips up, rainbow the hips up high, keep strong through the right hand, pushing here, wild thing. Deep breath in. Exhale as you take the left leg up to the top of your mat into your lizard lunge. So your heels should be down into the mat, toes are coming off at a 45-degree angle. Your hands are underneath your shoulders and we're taking the back knee down into your lizard lunge here. From here, we're going to shuffle the hips back into that half split, picking up the toes on the left side and maybe walking the hands with you if you need that little extra bit of support. You can always place hands on a block here as well. The further you walk the hands away, the deeper the stretch is going to be, and keeping a soft bend behind your left knee. Deep stretch through the hamstring, through the glute. Deep breath in. As you roll back forwards into your lizard lunge with the hands underneath your shoulders, spread through the fingers. We're picking up the back knee, ready to step that back foot up to the top. Shuffle the weight forwards, lift up the foot and step it down. Coming all the way down into your Malasana squat with your hands either down into the mat on a block or maybe in at heart center. Pushing the knees away from you wherever you are, keeping tall through the spine and through the hips. So you're pushing your tailbone back and behind and squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're engaging through the body here. Deep breath in. Exhale, let's place the hands down into the mat. We'll come all the way up to stand. You can keep the toes apart, but bring the feet forwards, or you can have the feet hip width, whatever feels best for you. We're shuffling that weight over to the right hand side this time. So find your center of gravity here, find that strength through the foot, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, flex through the left foot, and just pick the toes up. Option number one. Maybe lift a little bit higher, maybe you're going to take the foot up and down. Maybe you can hold all the way up. Try and think about picking that leg up high, squeezing your hip flexor wherever you are, and flexing through the foot. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing that foot behind. Take a deep bend into your back, into your front knee, and step your left foot to the back of your mat as gently as you can. Into your lunge here. Hands at either side of the right foot. And again, we're pushing up through the hands, getting that weight into the hands, so our weight is pushed slightly forwards. We're going to separate through the shoulder blades and see if you can step the right foot back to meet the left. Deep breath in and out. Maybe come all the way down. You can come into your child's pose, take a second here. Bring the breath back. Bring the heart rate back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that flow. I love that flow because it makes me feel really strong when you're in that, when you're in a bind in your extended side angle. And then also when you're coming into that wheel pose or wild thing pose, you're picking up the foot from lizard and taking it back and behind. There's just something about that transition that makes me feel really strong through my arms. I think the best piece of advice through this flow is to have the fingers spread apart and have them underneath the shoulders, ready to push them through and get that weight into the hands nice and comfortably. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe. It means so much to me when you guys subscribe or send a super thanks. Like, comment, share, whatever you can do. It honestly absolutely means the world to me. And I look forward to practicing with you all again soon. Thanks.